We're going to have a conversation about cross-border payments. But before we dive into that, I want a bit of like a Netflix-style introduction.
Netflix-style. So the world became real-time faster than the banks did. Cross-border payments is slammed right in the middle of that collision. How do we manage it going forward?
I might be the devil's advocate just for a short second here, because from our retail side, we're seeing from open banking and the choice of rails that just overboards the checkout flow, for example, right? Now we need to choose between 20 different versions of paying. How do you see that customer experience is playing a really important role when we're talking about the corporates and the treasury landscape?
So the problem we've got is the real time is great for payments, but it's got a real disconnect with what the treasurers are receiving in the background. So they're still maybe receiving end-of-day reporting. The bigger corporates, they want to be, as we talked about, the API is embedded into the ERP systems.
Yes.
They want to be able to do everything, and that's multi-bank and multi-currency as well.
Visa Direct just launched a report about the billion-dollar warning around fintech disruption. Now, when we talk about challenges and the Treasury and so forth, can you elaborate a little bit more about what you found in that report and why it's so important to pay attention?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, there's a huge disruption. We have talked about it a lot. I mean, the consumerization of business payments, that we now bring our personal lives into our corporate lives, and the expectations is changing. And we see this especially for the banks now. I mean, in the B2B space, the volumes are huge. If the fintechs and neobanks carved out 70% of the retail volumes, it doesn't move the needle. When you look at the B2B side, it's global. It's next year it will be around $250 trillion. So this is clearly a flow that you would like to protect. So now is the time to invest.
I think that's really important. As sitting in a bank, right, and we speak to treasurers every single day. And the pain is real. They basically don't want to sit in two different systems. They don't want to have to only do, X amount of file downloads and so on, right? It also opens up a lot of scrutiny around the work processes. And when we are starting to talk about AI in financials, you can't do that on back of something that's not already automated based on APIs, right?
Yep.
And small incremental steps, I think, is so important, which is also one of the things I'm very proud of in Danske Bank we're doing, right? With our premium APIs, go out, test, do small iterations, don't overthink it. Because I think we as humans are also very good at making these huge projects that will take forever and ever and ever.
I mean, it's about making sure that you don't... Banks need to think like a proper fintech company, right? They don't, they can't sit in lines of businesses and say, well, we do it this way and another line of business. Corporates don't care. They want a complete end-to-end experience. So that's, across cash management and payments and trade finance and everything, right?
Basically, whatever we have in our normal life in, after 5 o'clock, that's all we want.
Absolutely.
As a treasurer, right?
Yeah.